Brilliant. So, Nia, we are working with a course that is teaching us how to run our own businesses. Tell us about how you decided to launch the space, the thought process behind it, and what got you here.
Okay, thank you guys for your time. So I'm just going to take a few things that I heard from Carl's talk and also incorporate that. Carl said, get good, get seen, and then get paid. So I have been in this industry, the hospitality industry, for close on 20 years now.
Wow.
Yes. So this was a process of me getting good. Getting good is a long process. And so I've been baking cakes most predominantly and doing catering. And I've always wanted to do this, to have a coffee shop. But it doesn't come overnight. You have to pay your tax. And so I've been making cakes on order for individuals. And one of the things I can say is continue to perfect your craft and don't compromise, because this field of cake making is flooded.
Yes.
And there's a season where there were many people making cakes at very little cost, as in they would charge their customers very, very little. And the temptation is to say, let me also do that. But I realized that doing that would mean I'm compromising on the quality of my product. And so I continued to do my cakes the way that I wanted to do them. Very good, with very good quality products and at a very high price to the customer. Not very high, but I charged what they were worth. I got my worth. And at one point I had very few customers, but those customers were seeing me and my work. So then I started to get seen. And then I never advertised really my cakes, but people advertised them for me. Like if you want a good cake, go and see Tuniah. She'll make it for you. And so this dream of having the coffee shop was there for a very long time. And I tried to do this a couple of years ago, a few years ago. I got a little space and I thought, let me get this little space and sell my cakes. Maybe people cannot afford the big cake, so let me sell my cakes as slices. And I tried this thing of setting up a space where I was selling cakes. I was just selling cake slices. Whew, that was tough time. You want to know failure? That particular attempt was a failure, because I would sit and look at these delicious cakes and 2 or 3 people would come in. The cakes that I make are 8 slices. So 2 or 3 people would come, and that means I've got like 5 slices left. So I would watch these cakes just sit. And sometimes to the point where I would have to get rid of these cakes. Cakes do not have a long shelf life. And so I'd just kutwarasa my cakes because they were not selling. And so I want to give an encouragement that the Bible says that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And I think this is the thing with any business, when the time is right. But don't get weary while you're waiting for that time. Like I said, I've been doing this thing for close on 20 years. And so just continue to do it with the excellence that you know, perfecting your craft as you go. Another thing that was critical in my journey is collaboration. So Tari told you that I have a partner, Bradley. So we used to collide. Our spaces used to collide in events, weddings, because I also used to do event planning and coordination and catering. So we would collide in that space. And we realized each other in that space, in that the spirit of excellence was in both of us. And so when we would see each other in those spaces, be like, oh, you're there, so it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And he would look out for me and be like, oh, you're here, so it's going to be a good one. And so we began to talk and just share our vision. Brad also has a history in hospitality. And so we would just share our vision. And then we at one point I asked, why don't we do this thing together? And I think that in a lot of spaces, collaboration is not a big thing. People want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
This is my thing. This is my work. This is my music or whatever it is. But when Brad and I collaborated, this was the result.
So good.
And when I tried to do it on my own, I failed monumentally. And I believe if he had tried to do it on his own, he would fail monumentally. So Cafe Avodah is a fusion of two visions that have come together and made a beautiful thing, and it is successful. You can be successful in Kadoma. You can. And so we are both flourishing in our own strengths in this vision. And I just want to encourage you. Maybe you play an instrument and there's somebody else who can sing. Don't be afraid of collaborating. Sometimes what you are missing is that missing person, that missing connection, maybe. So yeah, that's
Nice.
basically our
I
journey.
love how you've just outlined this. It's beautiful. You talked about your niche. Which Carl also mentioned in his acronym Garnish. There's niche in there. Something that I know we battle with as creatives is there's an opportunity that has come which has lots of money, but it requires me to offer a substandard product.
Okay.
Right? How do you make that decision to say, okay, do I take this money, although it will compromise my brand, or do I let it go and go hungry for a season? How did you manage that?
I think I'm quite principled in that regard, in that I always only attach myself to things I would be proud of. And so if it means compromising, I always think, do I really want people to talk about my name in regards to a substandard product or service? And so it's never been a conflict for me. I always want to be known for good quality things. And so if you come to me and ask me to do something that is compromising on my standards, it's a no-brainer. It's not going to happen. And it's the same here as well. We've had people come in and said, but this is my budget. This is what I would like to do. But you're attaching our name to this thing. And people won't understand that you came and it was your decision. So as far as that, I think maintain your standards. Going hungry for a season, God will never let you go hungry for a season.
So
He never will. Because even in the time when there was COVID and I had to stop doing my work because it was hospitality, God always provided. We may not have had as much as we wanted, but we had enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the aspects of collaboration. You're coming in with a set of skills. Bradley's coming in with a set of skills and experience. We are working in bands with different personalities and things like that. Tell us about that fusion of skills and how you've managed to work on each other's strengths and weaknesses.
I think maturity comes into play, and setting aside a lot of pride. I think that helps as well. Realizing that, okay, this is Brad's area of expertise. And him also realizing, oh, this is Nia's area of expertise. And just giving each other that space that, okay, this is your thing. You're good at this. You do it. And I think one of the struggles with collaboration is, but he will or she will get the glory. But at the end of the day, what's the big picture? The big picture is Cafe Avodah in our regards. It's not, no one is going to say, oh, I went to Tuniah, or oh, I went to Brad, but I went to Cafe Avodah. So at the end of the day, it will benefit you whether or not someone is leading in that particular space or in that particular area. So collaboration really is to do with a lot of maturity and what is your end goal.
So good.
Yeah.
So we are in the SoCreative e-learning course, we have a module called Launching Your Creative Enterprise. And I would like you to walk us through, I am a new business person starting a business today. What are the things that you had to do to make sure that your business is compliant and in running above board?
Okay, so yeah, to make sure that we were compliant, again, I think I come back to collaboration. We had to get a professional. We had to, you pay the people who know what they're doing. So we had to be Zimra compliant, we had to be NASA compliant, we had to be City Council compliant. So fortunately, both of us have a background in business, in having done business before. So we sort of knew what the requirements were in terms of City Council, so our licensing, our certification, but we ask questions. The good thing about business in this day and age is that a lot of the things are available to you. A lot of the information is available to you online. So you could go and search, I'm starting this business. What are the requirements? And then you have to do those things. They cost money. So for us, we had to get medical examinations as well. That's something that costs money. But it's something that you have to say, okay, we're going to put aside this amount of money to do this. But like I said, we got a professional to do a lot of the money side of things.
Yeah.
So to take the burden off of us, and also because we're not that great at that.
Now, the location of this space was very special.
Yes.
And I love, I don't know if this was a coincidence or you were very intentional about the space that you're taking in. But one thing that we're also learning is just art infrastructure or infrastructure for creative spaces. Talk to us about your choice of space and the things that are surrounding us and why it's so significant for you to be in this space.
Okay. Well, this is a very interesting story. So this space is not a coincidence. So a few years ago, I did approach the then committee to ask if I could have a coffee shop in this space. Not necessarily this room, but the civic center space.
Okay. So for context, we are sitting in between the library, the museum in Kadoma.
Yes.
So, and it's a very central space in the city.
Yes. Yeah. So because of exposure, I realized that there's coffee shops within the library space. And I thought this would be very nice. I'm a reader. And so I thought this would be nice to get a book, get into a coffee shop, come and sit, have a coffee, and read my book. And so I did approach them. But at the time, I think it wasn't something that they had in mind. They didn't want to interfere with the space. This whole space was a museum. Yes. So I'm sure they didn't want to interfere with things. And so they were not so forthcoming at that time.
Yeah.
But as the years progressed and Brad and I had decided that we wanted to do this, we made certain inquiries. And then as God would have it, a phone call was made. You guys made an inquiry about this other space. Would you be interested in the library? And Brad called me and he says, Tuniah, these guys called and they said, are you interested in the library? I'm like, yes, that's exactly where we want to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think on my part, I was very intentional about wanting the space here. But because the dream had drawn on for so long, I think I had sort of said, okay, let's work with whatever space we can get. But I believe God orchestrated it, that dream that he had placed in my heart at that time to have the space here could come to fulfillment. And so yeah, and so this backdrop is very, very special because it's a community project. A lot of people came in and helped us who were so excited about this vision that we had and this dream that we were bringing to life. So a lot of people have worked on this and it's very, very special. So 2 or 3 people worked on the mug. Bradley will take credit for the leaves, the green leaves.
So
Yes.
Bradley's a visual artist as well.
Yes.
Oh,
and so we have a lot of people who have worked on this wall. So it's very special to us. It's like this came to life before we came in. So we worked
So
on that
good.
before we opened. So
So
that's
good.
very special. And yeah, so in this space, this shop front, this is a recreation of the very first shop front in Kadoma, which was, yes,
I
which
saw that in
was
one of the
the
was the pictures
picture.
in the yeah, in the
Yes,
museum. I saw that. Yeah.
yes, the pictures in the museum. So this was located in the now Grand Hotel. This shop
Wow.
front is a recreation. So we will not, and we are not allowed to, but we won't. It's beautiful. We won't mess with this. It has to stay as
Brilliant.
is. Yeah.
And it
And
looks
then
good, by the way.
it looks very nice. It's
Yeah.
very good.
So I'm going to ask you my last question before I open it up to everyone else. Let's talk about social impact. What are you envisioning, or what are you doing already to just impact the community of Kadoma? Or what are you planning to do as Cafe Avoda to just open up the space to influence the culture?
It's a very good question. So avoda means, it's a Hebrew word for worship while you work. Yes. And so
Yeah.
we want to have a space where people feel like there are no clicks. Like anybody can come into Cafe Avoda. Anybody can come and they will get the same sort of service because our service is worship to the Lord.
Come on.
And so we are not going to serve anyone differently. And we want everybody to feel a culture of excellence, if that may be, and a culture of love. And so that's how we want to impact the community, in that no matter who you are, no matter your economic demographic, you are going to come to Avoda, you're going to get a smile, you're going to get what you need. We dedicate our day to the Lord before we start. It's our culture to pray before we start our work. And one of our prayers is that, Lord, help us to serve every individual as they need. And so whether it be a word, whether it be a smile, we're going to serve people with excellence and with the Lord leading us. And that's the culture that we want. Kadoma has become, we feel like sometimes the world has become hostile. And you have to be someone in order to get something. As be someone like Mafanang Gorimbinga to get something. But no, we want to serve everyone. And we want to serve everyone with love and how God leads us.
So good. I know.